Stock up, stock down. Whose stock is rising and whose is falling? Guys, let's go ahead and get right into this. So starting off right away, obviously this is majority from our last preseason game versus the Eagles. And I don't think anyone's stock is going more down right now than Jalen Rivers at potentially right tackle, because he looked really bad. We'll see how it looks at guard. He'll play his second preseason game at guard, and I think he'll be a lot better. So I think I'm very confident that his stock will go up there. Dylan Fairchild looked amazing, so his stock is definitely up. Jake Browning, his stock is forever stuck in one place. Preseason stock for Jake Browning is it's a dying cause. It's a dying cause. It's a dying language. It's a dying species. I don't know. He's never gonna have an up or down stock. Tanner Hudson's stock has gone up, way up after that preseason game. Jermaine Burton, he played it. He looked really good on special teams. His stock went up, even though he got injured. Doesn't matter. His stock is still up. I was about whose stock is really down. Jalen Rivers is like the only one I can think about. I mean, Jalen Davis, Lux, who else? Brooks. All those guys' stocks are way down. Trey Hendrickson's stock is up. I think that's a pretty obvious one. All right, so let's see who they say. Stock rising, Dylan Fairchild. Yeah, Fairchild has looked good in training camp. He's looked good in practice. And then he looked good in the actual game, which is all you need to see to know how good Fairchild's going to be. Shamar Stewart. I kind of forgot about that. See, it's weird. Shamar Stewart's a weird one. I made a whole entire video. I broke down every single play, right? And I talked about, like what he looked like on every single play. And he's made a couple great plays in that preseason game. But then there's a lot of people who hate Shamar Stewart. Like, there's a lot of haters. So I'm actually kind of surprised seeing praise for Shamar Stewart. I think he looked good. I think he looked fine in the preseason. But there's a lot of people who hate this guy. He is not well loved. Taj Brooks is another guy that a lot of people really clowned on after his preseason game, saying that he didn't look that great. He didn't do anything special. He had 26 yards and 10 carries, 1 catch for 3 yards, which, I mean, it's his first preseason game. It's going to take time for him to look really good. He'll get through all the training camp preseason and probably get a couple rushes. I would think overall-wise, probably 30 or 40 rushes this upcoming season. But, yeah, stock up, though. I like stock up, but he's another guy where I'm really excited for, and I think he's going to be really good. But there's been a lot of hate for him, too, after preseason week 1. Tanner Hudson. Yeah, Tanner Hudson, man. The forever man who is keeping Tanner McLaughlin from ever touching this NFL field again. That's not an accurate statement, but it's a funny statement. Chris Jenkins. Yeah. Again, another guy. What was it? Out of 14 snaps. 7 out of 14 snaps, he was dominant in some capacity. He had 5 tackles and a pressure. He was involved in at least half of the snaps he was in, which doesn't always happen in the preseason game, especially for a starter, but he has been an absolute monster. Love him, love him, love him. Stock falling. Poison Ivy. Yeah, that's another guy I kind of forgot about. Our secondary as a whole, after that first preseason game, just had a very much stock falling type of aspect. It was like the 2008 stock market, okay? It was the collapse of all collapses. We're talking about 1929, the Great Depression. Except we don't call it the Great Depression. We call it the Great Ivy. Okay, that sounds like a freaking sex medicine or a sex drug. Isaiah Williams. Yeah. The problem was, once Joe Burrow... No, I don't want to hear that. No, I don't want to hear Isaiah Williams. I am, by the way, a humongous fan of Isaiah Williams. I love Isaiah Williams. And the one pass that was thrown to Isaiah Williams, where he could have caught it, what happened? Do you guys remember what happened? By the way, Isaiah Williams, 5'9", okay? 5'9". Jake Browning threw the ball 6 inches above his head, or 12 inches, or 3 feet, or 20 feet. It was so bad, NASA could have seen it. He overthrew Isaiah Williams. That was the only pass Isaiah Williams got. And he overthrew it. And you know what? That's not a fault of Isaiah Williams. That was a fault of Jake Browning overthrowing the football. Because Jake Browning in the preseason, again, like I said, it can't happen, bro. It can't happen. Jake Browning, he's the next guy. Again, his stock, you can't even say his stock is falling, because anyone who watches preseason Bengals football over the last 2 years, they already know, man. Jake Browning in the preseason. Like, you know, like they say, like they have like labels on things nowadays for stupid people. And that's like, that's the way I could say it. But I'm not kidding. Like, they said, like, hey guys, remember, don't eat this paint. That's what I mean by stupid people, by the way. They actually have stuff on like paint cans. Don't eat this paint. Glue. Don't put this in your eyes. Like, there's warning labels because there's someone in the history of football, well, okay, that's not my bad, in the history of life who did something, and now they have to put a label in there so that people know not to do stupid stuff like that. How does this relate to Jake Browning? He's a label. In the preseason, that is. In the preseason. Don't watch preseason football if you want to watch, if Jake Browning is playing. Jalen Rivers. I would have listed him 7 times. See, this is why I don't like articles. If I wrote articles, I would list Jalen Rivers 17 times in this article. And again, I love Jalen Rivers. That's the problem. I'm very excited to see him get better and do better. But at the same time, bro just isn't having the preseason of his life. It is what it is, man. He's having a bad preseason. I hope he fixes it. I hope he figures it out. Because, man, I hate to see Jalen Rivers not have a great preseason. But it is what it is. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. I'll see you guys next one.